The Pariora owner and builder of the world's longest piano is shifting it to Dunedin, just in case Sir Elton John decides to call in and have a play maybe during his November 25 concert at the Dunedin Stadium. 23-year-old Adrian Mann's much publicised bid to get Elton John to play his piano at his Pariora home has failed. So now Adrian's transported it to the Otago Museum, where it's on display for the next 3 weeks. And hopefully Elton will bump into it. He'll have no choice now. Adrian Mann's on the line with us. Adrian, hello.
Hello.
So what was the problem getting Elton to come and see you?
Well, I don't know. We've had a number of people try contacting the managers and things like that, but maybe he's very busy. I'm not sure.
Yes, he's probably on a tight schedule, I imagine.
I think so.
But you haven't given up hope, Adrian. You've shifted it south.
No, yeah, that's right. We've taken it to the Otago Museum and in the hope that he might possibly come along. Who knows, Got to try these things.
Now, shifting a piano, we know it's a skilled job. Shifting the world's longest one, was that harder?
I think it's much easier because there are sort of less people involved in lifting and carrying and things like that. Where you would have people, you have a tractor instead.
Right, right, okay. How long is it?
It is 18 feet 9 inches long, which is 5.7 metres.
5.7. And what was the previous, was there a previous record?
Yeah, well, the one that was smaller than that was one in China, which is 15 foot long.
Right. So yours is easily longer.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a bit. So you're hoping that Sir Elton will hear about it now and he'll come along to the Otago Museum, sufficiently intrigued, and you might run into him there.
Hopefully. We've all got our fingers crossed here, and everyone's worked very hard to get it here and things like that.
It'll be on
come along, it would still be good for the community and things like that.
It'll be on display in the atrium foyer from today until for quite a while, actually, a few weeks. Yeah, we said 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yep.
And you are playing the piano to the public each day?
Oh, just from the 21st to the 25th. Just a casual performance. I'm not much of a concert pianist or anything like that.
But there is a concert this weekend where other pianists will play your piano?
Yes, there's a list of people are coming in and putting their names down to be able to play the piano, and I'm not sure of all the names, but there's a few people coming along to play it at this stage.
The Alexander piano. So can you tell us more about it? We've got some pictures on our Facebook page for those who haven't seen it yet, and there's a website, isn't there, alexanderpiano.yolasite.com.
That's correct, yes.
YOLA site.com. So can you just tell us a bit more about it, Adrian?
Well, I started the piano when I was 16 years old, and I got the idea from a number of sources, really, but really the defining moment was when I was at my piano teacher's, and it was the end of the long day, and I asked her a question. I said, well, how long would that bass string be if there was no copper wound around on it? And it was the end of the day, and she was tired, and so she said to me, the piano string would be so long it would go on forever. And me, with the inquiring mind, I thought to myself, well, I need to know what that would be, and I'd like to find out. So I did the experiment in the backyard, and I ended up with 2 waratahs and a big long piece of piano wire, and what I did was I tensioned it up till it was at the low A pitch and got it as long as I possibly could, which was ginormous. And it was the sound that I heard from that which was inspiring to me. It was such a clear sound that I'd never heard before anywhere. And then the question was, well, of course, why don't they make pianos like this, with this amazing sound? So that's where it sort of started.
It's the first piano in the world, then, to have no copper wound strings.
Yes. Yeah.
And so the very long strings on your one give a very lovely deep bass sound you're talking about.
It is a very deep sound. It's a very interesting sound because, although it's very loud, it's very clear as well. It's quite hard to explain, really, but it's just unique. It's not better than a concert grand or worse than a concert grand. It's just a different quality of sound in the bass there.
You're clever to have started this experiment, to have asked that question first of all, and then to have discovered the clarity of the long string. And you were determined too, because it started back in 2002?
2005.
Oh, okay, back in 2005. And but you didn't finish it till what, 2009?
Yes, yep.
Right, okay.
2009.
So you've always been good with your hands, as they say.
Well, yeah. I've always been a sort of a practical person. I made the tree hut and did all that sort of thing and built tunnels and things. And I don't know, it just seemed to carry on and get more and more and more.
There's a big gap, though, that isn't there between discovering the sound of the string between two waratahs and building the world's longest piano to incorporate that sound into it. I mean, you'd never done anything like that before.
No, not really, no. When I started making the piano, I had no idea what I was doing. And looking back, you see, how you learn things. But I just really launched myself straight into the project, knowing nothing and learning most of the things along the way. That's sort of the gist of how it all came about.
For most people, that would have come about or ended in a sort of muddled disaster, but you've triumphed. It's a notable achievement. What else? I mean, what else do you want to build? Have you got other grand plans?
Not really. Well, I want to make a boat at some stage, but that's not really the same sort of thing. The next thing I want to do is to develop the idea of this piano a bit further, because there's a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I could change in the piano. I mean, every time I look at it, I see that the piano, particular things in the piano that I could have done better or could have changed to get a slightly better sound or things like that. So that's sort of on my mind at the moment.
Which way would that development go? I mean, what sort of a piano would you end up with? An even bigger one?
No, I wouldn't end up a lot bigger, but it would be wider and the string layout would be slightly different just to get the best out of the soundboard and things like that. And there's a lot of innovations that have come along lately, which are very interesting in the piano sort of world. Things don't change very quickly, but things are just starting to change now, I think.
So is the string layout a bit cramped and crimped from your point of view? Would you like more freedom there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah. What I did when I made the piano, I actually made it a bit too narrow, which means that I couldn't actually have the last three notes on the top, which didn't matter a lot to me because I thought, well, you hardly ever use those notes. It's the bass notes which were more important to me at the time. But if I was making another one, I would put those three notes in, things like that.
And people who've played it so far, what have they said to you?
It's interesting to see people's reactions. We've had a number of good pianists and concert pianists even, and it varies from, the terrific sound to it's a slightly heavy action, which it is. It's a wee bit hard to play, but they all definitely comment on the sound of the bass strings.
Right, so it's got
quite different.
Right, so it's got a notably rich, resonant sound, which still sounds like a piano, just like a piano as you've never quite heard it before.
Yeah, I guess you'd put it like that, yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing it myself. It's not on YouTube anywhere, the playing of it, is it?
Yes, if you look on the website under sound, I think I've put a link up there to the YouTube. YouTube's not particularly good sound, but on the website there is a good sound recording on there.
All right, I'll give that website address again then. It's alexanderpiano.yolasite.com.
That's the one.
Where does the Yola site word come from?
Oh, Yola site is a website making company. It's really easy. You just sort of go on there and you can make an account and build a website. It's very easy. Right,
Yola site. Okay, so alexanderpiano.yolasite.com. Very good. Well, so you're hoping that Elton John will hear about it, drop in. That'd be a thrill, actually, well, for both of you. It'll be a thrill for him, and it'll be great for you too.
Yeah, it'd be a thrill for a lot of people. A lot of supporters have, helped out with this. Main Trade have donated their time to move the piano for nothing, and, the Otago Museum are having it here. It's just been an incredible journey.
Have you said to his entourage, look, I understand why he can't come to see me, but the piano's going to be in the museum, and can he come down? Will he have the word? Will he get the word?
I hope so.
Yeah, we hope so too.
Yeah.
It'll make a great photo op all over the world, really, wouldn't it?
I think it would, yeah.
Oh, good luck with all of that. Are you going to go and see? Are you going to go and see him at the stadium as well?
Yes, we're going. We've got our tickets.
You could hold up a sign, Adrian, with an arrow, world's longest piano.
Yeah.
No, look, I hope he does hear about it. It'll be fantastic, and it'll be a great photograph to see.
Yes, thank you very much.
All the best, and all the best for the... So it's there now, and all the best for people coming to see it. They'll all be intrigued, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh, it's been interesting, yeah. It's very good.
All right. Well done, too, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Adrian Mann, the world's longest piano is now in the atrium of the Otago Museum. And if you are in Otago, Southland Canterbury, or if you'll be in Dunedin over the next 3 weeks, you'll have a chance to see it and maybe to play those low, gorgeous bass notes.